Okay, so we're getting pretty close to the end of our net working capital section. We're going to do the cash conversion cycle in this video, and then the next video we're actually going to build just the net working capital, which is fairly straightforward, and then we're going to zoom out a little bit and talk big picture about what we've completed here. So let's just start this one with the cash conversion cycle. We'll do our new version, net working capital, cash conversion cycle. Okay, so just like our other videos, let's define it first. So the cash conversion cycle is the time it takes a company to convert its investment in inventory into cash. Or said another way, it's the amount of days between paying the vendor for the inventory and when the company actually receives cash from its customers. A little bit confusing, it might make more sense as we get into it. So the formula is actually pretty straightforward. We've already done a lot of the work. The formula is just the DSOs plus the days on hand minus the days payable. And we've got a number of days here. So what does this mean? Basically what we're saying is it takes about 136 days for the company to go from paying for its inventory until it receives cash from its customers. Just like everything else in this net working capital statistics section, it needs to be benchmarked against other companies in the same industry to know if they are ahead or behind of the average. So I'm just going to drag this out to the end of our forecast period. And then one thing that I should have been doing all along, and I have not, is I'm actually going to do just a little bit of a formatting change here so that when we reopen our file in the future, or somebody else does, we don't get confused. These formulas in December of 16 are all different from the formulas in the forecast period in December of 17. So just like we did up here in the income statement, if I scroll out to our fixed growth formulas, we flagged a few things as orange. I'm going to do the same thing for the new net working capital formulas. So I'm just going to copy the formats and copy the comments. So now it's been flagged and every single one says a new formula begins here. Again, just best practices so that when somebody opens your file, they don't get confused, or if you haven't opened your file in a little while, you won't get confused either. Okay, so now let's build our annual section, and this will be fairly quick. I'm going to copy all of our formatting. None of these are going to be inputs, so I'm just going to clear them out. These are already updated because they just link to our P&L, so it's linking up to our annual section up here. And then the rest of these, we can just copy our index match formula from our balance sheet section. So I'm going to copy the balance sheet, index match for the cash, and then I'm just going to copy the formulas. That way all of my formatting remains intact. And now I know what all of my net working capital balances are and the statistics at the end of each respective year. Okay, so we're nearly done with the working capital section. We've built out all the metrics. Again, in the next video, we're going to build one final thing, which is the working capital itself. And then we're going to talk about working capital as a whole and the working capital target and why that's so important during your diligence process.